California isn't real. It was created by the government. It's all a psyops, man. You're not really from California, Edward. It's all a psyops. Alright, let's get ready to rumble. I'm so proud, y'all. I finished chapter 2 of my book. Can't wait for nobody to ever read it, but I still am excited. So it's a thing, and I'm doing it. So welcome in, everybody, to the It's Getting Really Freaking Cold edition. And so is my voice of the Star Trek Fleet Command show, podcast, whatever we do on YouTube. I don't even know. It's a little nippy. It's a little nippy. It is 1 degree Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, 1 degree Celsius and 32 Fahrenheit right now in beautiful Louisiana. So it's a little bit nippy, but the internet still works. So we'll be able to talk about everything that y'all like to talk about. The Xindi grind, how it has gotten improvement. Would not call it an amazing grind, but definitely has gotten an improvement, and I will acknowledge that. Talk about the events that are rolling out. We obviously have the heroically heroic SL, not even SLB, SMS. We'll talk about all these things and more. And we're back to our regularly scheduled timing because the American football season is over. So I'll be doing these from our normal European friendly times, and hopefully that makes y'all feel more included, because my goal is for everybody to get some love. So everybody to get some love. Yeah, that's the goal. Montana, -25. Montana's not a real place. Montana's just where we store our cows in the summertime, but nobody actually lives in Montana. We just store our cows and our horses there. It's just a big horse corral. It's all that's there. Kansas, -1. See, Kansas? That's a real place. Great barbecue, Kansas City. Even though it's technically Missouri. But you know what? Who cares about border wars? We'll talk about territory in about a week and a half when all those changes happen. Not sure if y'all caught the announcement that I did on my Discord, but the territory changes will be including, at least the plan is to include, the addition of the Monavine to 2-star territories. So that's a big one. We're going to be moving around some of the services, as well as increasing the size of the Isogen nodes that you mine. So quite a few bit of changes coming to the territory lands. I'm very curious to see how that, affects the ability or the desire of different alliances to move around, capture new ground, and do things like that. So lots to discuss, and we're here for it. Murphy says, I'm loving the Xindi grind. I can easily fund a chest pull daily, and since I can't get the power to kill a 40, forcing the other favors first to increase loot pulls from each hostile. I'm glad, Murphy, that you can now do it relatively easily. That's good. That's good to hear for that first chest. And they did a pretty significant increase. Again, I already made a video on it, so I don't want to cover it too extensively, but I do think that has made the grind more doable. Obviously, there are a couple of pain levels there, but I have really been trying to work with a lot of the 40s and 41s who've come to me needing help to get them where they're getting this completed. So yeah, you're relaxing after shoveling 8 inches of snow off my driveway. Kal-El, you're Superman. That shouldn't be any problem for you. So I'm not sure, why there was much of an issue, but I'm glad you got the 8 inches taken care of. Why don't you just use your, laser vision? Don't you shoot laser beams out your eyeballs that can melt things? Why don't you just use your laser vision? Expecting ice and snow to hit Shreveport all day through Monday. So I've heard, Hemi. So I've heard. And obviously that would extend out to where I am in Louisiana as well. So we'll just kind of see how things go. If all goes well, won't lose power, won't have any of those problems. Stay inside, stay warm. If y'all don't see me for a couple days, well, I'll still have my phone. I highly doubt the data towers are going to go down. Or maybe it's like that movie that came out 10 years ago. Was it 2012 or The Day After Tomorrow, whatever? And actually the entire northern ice cap, we're going to enter into a cold age, and Louisiana's going to be like the last state you can live in the U.S. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. But we'll see by Monday. We'll see by Monday. I'm off 38 now. There's something so poetic about the Ark being Enterprise and me flying into deep space with Faith of the Heart playing in the background. Raj, you are just so obsessed with this game, Star Trek, and your girlfriend. It is a mixture of adorable and pathetic, and I love you for it. Thank you for being who you are. It's been nice to get to know you more and more this past couple of months. You're supposed to get hit here too in the M's. The M's. Oh, Mississippi. Oh, yeah, that state, Mississippi. I didn't realize you were Mississippi, Derek. Please stay warm and safe, Mr. Booth. Please stay warm and safe. So, do the new territory updates come with zone resets? I'm not sure what you mean by zone resets, Prince. If you would like to just expound a little bit on your question, I'm more than happy to try to answer it. I'm just not really sure what you mean by a zone reset. I don't really get that. Outside of Oxford, hey, did you go to college there? Those that don't know, there's a college out there, obviously. Yeah, cool. Pokey will be happy once she gets Porthos hailing frequency. There's a Porthos hailing frequency? Let's go take a look at our hailing frequency book. Well, we got a whole bunch. I don't see a Porthos. Maybe next month. Maybe next month. I was listening to Warhammer God Emperor condemning planets to death as I was smashing bases this morning. That is completely random. Any new zones? They are not adding any new zones that I'm aware of, no. There's been no plans I've heard of adding to territory, just moving things around in the already existing territory, which includes those little 3 territories that sit to the east of the main territory block that are used for missions and everything. There's been no discussion that I've heard of adding those into the rotation. So, yeah. Sorry for all the confusion. I'm referring to the zones that allies control. Do those reset? Okay. I'm still not sure what you're referring to, but let me phrase it this way. Are you talking about how there's like Tholian areas and then there's like, Beta Z areas? Is that what you're meaning? Like how Max right here has got the Trill areas. Is that kind of what you're referring to? Like the actual species locations in territory? And if so, there's no change to that happening that I'm aware of. Again, the changes that are happening are going to be services getting swapped around, but nothing about the particles being swapped around. So, nothing about the particles themselves being swapped around. So we could use XC50s and maybe an updated Stella. How about we not do more specialty ships, Murphy? I am specialty shipped out after 2023. I'm not saying that there isn't a specialty ship that could come out that I wouldn't enjoy it, but heck, this is an opportunity. Y'all comment. I am specially shipped out at the moment, man. I am specially shipped out. I don't have any interest in any more. I literally just got my cube to tier 7. I don't even have my Monavine to tier 7 yet. I am so specially shipped out. And the only reason I got my cube that high, well, one, I had the materials, but this new heroically heroic SMS, I did this. We were actually talking about this on the podcast last night, or on the Twitch stream, rather. Sorry. For those that don't know, the Borg Cube is arguably the most expensive in terms of material cost, especially shipping the game, where it costs about 1 million G5, 1 million G6, and over 400,000 raw G4 ore. Well, not raw G4 ore, but raw cost of G4 ore, where you compare that to like the Monavine, it's got like one fifth of that. So it gets really pricey. I spent on mine about 70,000 uncommon to get my parts done. So it was quite a bit. I'll tell you this, it was quite a bit. So my Borg Cube now sits at a beefy-ish 27, and the only part that is left that I can't upgrade is the right here. So I can't take it any further than this, and I won't be able to take it any further than this for quite some time because I am still unsure if I'm going to pick up a level 50 ship, and that means I would have to wait all the way to a 53 ship, and we'll just have to again wait and see on what if I decide to, you know, throw independent credits right there. But I've not been throwing away team credits at it, so yeah. I could throw away team credits at the Tribune because I do plan on getting the Vorcha, and I've been debating it. So I have almost 600,000 away team credits now, and I could start throwing them towards the Tribune, right? But 650 blueprints is a lot. Remember, the credit cost of these ships is right at 1 million faction credits. So it is a pricey son of a gun. And I haven't decided if I'm going to pick up the Tribune or if I'm just going to wait it on out and just go Corvus and Vorcha. I'm still deciding, but I'm also not leaving 49 this month, so we'll see. You like some classic skins for existing ships? I agree, Weapon. We've brought that up actually last stream here on YouTube. Agree. I would love them to do more cosmetics and even selling cosmetics, because I think at this point, there's just about enough ships for everything right now, but I could still use more cosmetics. So I could do that. You got a heg tie and you're super happy with it? Nothing wrong with the heg tie. Here's my thing with the heg tie. I don't need another interceptor. I've got a Talios, and the Talios is cheaper and better to invest in, especially going to the 50s. I've got a pylon that's tier 9. I don't need a heg tie. There's nothing wrong with a heg tie. I have interceptors that I use already. You know what? I mean, these are just sitting here. I'm going to go ahead and pull 3. I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 because they're just sitting there. But I don't need a heg tie, right? It's just not something that I could really use. It's not a bad ship. And if you didn't make the same choices I did, it makes sense to maybe pick one up. Or if you're just a ship collector. But yeah. Tally is a glass jaw in PvP. You're using it wrong then, Opus. Tally is awesome in PvP. It's one of the reasons I love it so daggone much. I love it. But hoping the NX-01 is just a skin for the Franklin. Well, the Franklin is not the same class of ship as the NX-01, but I would like it to be a skin for something. We'll see how they end up doing it. During the event store, does Augur show up even if you're not at the 10 million lock? If you are at the, what is it? 80% of the rep, and then you are like 33 or 34, it should show up in an event store. But our next event store is not going to be for a couple months probably. So it's going to be a while until you see one in an event store. And dang, I was hoping another one of these would start because this was actually a really good event yesterday. I like this event. It was actually really nice. That was actually really nice. All right, so we should have finished Anomalous Phenomenon. Let me go make sure all my other things are turned on. Anomalous Phenomenon is done. Let's check our Threat from Beyond. Oh, nope, I'm not doing Threat from Beyond. My daily events. Got to turn on my Klingon one and turn on the Fed one. I don't do the ROM one because I'm trying to get one bill lock. And then let's check our ticket events. So I still got some left over from yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and join all these bad boys because I have a surplus of tickets at the moment. So we'll go ahead and do that. Ooh, level up and promote officers. I think I have just the officers for such an occasion. Just the officers for such an occasion. Keep on and throwing y'all's comments in chat. If y'all have questions, I will try to answer them to the best of my ability, including if you have questions about some of the upcoming things that we have mentioned previously, like territory and, you know, this current loop with the Xindi, all those things. Are the G4 Uncommon worth it to max and scrap? No, they're not. They're not. They did not make that into a loop that was, in my opinion, advantageous towards scrapping. I don't think that's something that we could still do. I mean, you can attempt it if you want to give it a go, but yeah, I'm going to say no on that one. I'm going to head this way real quick. and reset this node. Level 39, trying to plan the future. Ships have max Enterprise and Augur. Is the ISS Jelly worth it? The ISS Jelly is worth unlocking, Dan. The ISS Jelly is not really worth investing in, but it is worth unlocking, because unlocking it gets you an event called ISS Jelly Brawl that tends to happen 2 times a month, which is a great little source, especially in the late 30s, early 40s, for getting uncommon 4-star ore and a couple of other things. So just for that event alone, I would recommend you get it. But I would not invest anything into it. Like, I would not dump materials into it. I would not, go crazy on, worrying about taking it to tier 5 or using it in PvP or even armadas. I mean, there's too many other things that have way more valuable, but just to be able to get the events, I think is super good. And that can help you get a leg up, because one of the things that you're going to run into is needing a lot of ore cost to get to level 42. So value there, value. What is the beta sector for? Is it ship parts, bigger CLAT, and a few researches? The beta sector is kind of outdated content. That was created as like an end game at the time when 40s came out for the first time. There's just some specific Borg hostile. Sorry, I got a lot of drainage from the snot. No, it's not sexy. Sorry. So there are specific researches that are for only attacking those hostiles and stuff. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying that it's not like super special. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, wow, look at this. That's not going to happen. So that's not going to happen. Just continue exploring. In fact, I haven't even done the mission to do that yet. It's one of the things that I've been procrastinating on. I need to do these missions. Remember, the gold missions are your storyline missions. So I need to do my main storyline so I can actually get up there and do that. But yeah, speaking of, I got to go mine ore today. So maybe we'll work on the mission today. Beta sector to me was content that was going to happen and then stopped when they got the TV licenses. Nope, that actually, believe it or not, Andy, had nothing to do with it. Believe it or not, had nothing to do with it. Content that they were working on and got stopped was the USS Vengeance. The USS Vengeance had a 3D model created. The USS Vengeance was going to be put into the game as they were going to continue with the Kelvin movie lines, and then that got scrapped because of the TV licenses. But the beta sector was just meant to basically be, because if y'all remember, or if y'all have gone up there now, there's a Borg Cube up there. Well, that was like a big in-game boss type deal 4 years ago, because you needed a pretty beefy 4-star ship to go up and do that. Now it's pretty easy, but you got to understand that over time we've had new research, new officers, etc. So beating that cube in the top corner of the beta sector is actually really, really easy. But when it first came out, that was a really difficult thing, and it was a milestone because players were working to see who's gonna be the first one to do it. And then it was, okay, who's the first one on the server to get up and beat it? And that was the big deal at the time. And then of course you do have like the hostiles, they drop good numbers of ship parts and everything, but yeah, it's dead content. It's dead content. So let's hopefully, I don't think I've gotten a box yet. I got one more summon, but we gotta go through our refines. Our refinery is going to be set by us pulling them last night, so I'm not gonna be able to do most of my refineries. Unlike the ISIS Jelly a few days ago, finished her the day the brawl dropped, was delighted. The need for 4 stars real. That is awesome. I'm happy for you. It's freaking dope. Yeah, let me come down here. Voyager, we can't pull for 6 hours, and oh no, I miscalculated. I need to go do another one of those. I miscalculated my pulls. Oh, rut-row. Rut-row. I need to go do an 8472. I think I still have like one summon left. Yep, I need to go spend that summon over in... Ah, screw it. We'll just fix it later today. We'll fix it later today when I get my 1,500 more in. No worries. For newer servers, isn't it still useful? I would say no. Even on a new server, the beta sector doesn't really have any use because, again, one of the big draws to using the beta sector was it was going to give you more ship parts and stuff, like the broken ship parts. We got systems like right here that I'm in the Voyager systems, that have great amounts of broken ship parts per kill. So you really don't need them anymore. Like that entire beta area really doesn't have much of a purpose. For a storyline driven player, for somebody who wants to explore the game, it has a purpose. But there's a reason I have no like real drive to go up there. There's just nothing real valuable. that you can't already get on a newer server in another spot. Whether we're talking about freebooters, which, you know, starting at the level 53 freebooters, you can have Nova BPs drop. Very small percentage chance, but it can drop, right? You talk about ship parts, well, you got ship parts up here. So there's just so many things on this side of the map that have been added because of recent content for new servers as well. We don't really need to worry about it. Apollo mentions the CLAP mining nodes, but then here's the thing. CLAP mining really isn't much of an issue because a lot of the researches you have now, you can get all your CLAP done in regular deep space. You don't have to go all the way out to the beta sector. You don't even have to go all the way out in deep space. You can literally just do that early deep space unless you just really want to go for the really big nodes. But even then, so many players have gone and gotten the Ferengi whip that CLAT has kind of become content that I wouldn't call it dead content, but it's not content where you need to go find big nodes and get big numbers because you're able to just get your stuff done. Good evening, Samantha. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Speaking of my obsession with this game, I'm going to unlock the Voyager and Forbidden Tech that goes with it in 3 weeks exactly. That is awesome. I'm not pulling the trigger on the 50. I'm in no rush, Zendris. My goal is to always stay right at the top of where the majority of players are. So, right now there are about 70,000 players in the 40s, and there are less than that in the 50s, and there's only a couple thousand in the 60s. So I tend to try to stay as close as I can in that range where, upper free-to-play are still not too far from like the majority of free-to-play, and then kind of where the light spenders are. That's where I like to keep the main account. It keeps it relatable for y'all, content-wise. That way I'm not like some level 70 player just saying, hey, you should do this. But, can you really trust their paradigm if they're not playing where you're playing? So I'm not in a rush. At the same time, I have several accounts that I play on at various level brackets. So the main one, I just try to keep around where the majority of players kind of are, at least in that range. So I'm not in much of a hurry to go and upgrade to the 50 plus. Though I will say that a lot of the additions to the game lately have improved the economy for 50 plus gameplay, which is good. We like that. We like that. Why doesn't a tier 6 cube have a similar warp range to a tier 6 valve door? Number one question for me is going to be, have you done the research for the cube's warp range? Because that's a thing, but just to do a comparison so people can see what you're talking about, here is my Borg Cube. Sign. My Borg Cube's warp range is 140, a tier 7, and then a tier 5 valve door is 165. That said, I have not done a lot of that research. If you go into your Starships tree, click right here, hit the button, you will notice there are multiple researches to increase its warp range, which is, wait, wrong one. It's not in Starships, it's the next Borg. So it is right there. So you see, I've done 3 out of 15. And that will give it a pretty significant warp range boost. Do I think it has too little warp range? Sure. I think that's fine. Come to 60. Slag, I have an account that's not far from 60, and I have no desire to do it. No, thank you. Y'all can keep all y'all's paywalls. And by the way, I will tell you that if you are a player going to 60, you should plan to go to 61. 61, you can sit there, at least get your refineries all updated to give you Sigma materials, and just sit and camp on Sigma if you want to go into the 60s. So, no, Mark. Take the Monavine to tier 6. Have fun. And turn off the warning for using the beam. No, they cannot. I mean, they could, but they're not going to. So, this is a big one for players if they haven't already to do this research. So, let me go ahead and do this now. And we'll see how far I can take it, because I don't honestly know how far I can take it. And then we'll compare it to the Valdor and the Pylum afterwards, because I have now taken the Borg Cube as high as I can take it. Until technically next level, but I won't be able to take it any higher then. Just go ahead and, all right, so now I've got plus 25, and let's see, we should be right around, but I will agree, like I said, the warp range is surprisingly low for the cube. And see, here we got 150, and then my 165. So this is something that's been brought up before, like when it first came out, the warp range being an issue for it. I don't have an answer as to why, and are they revisiting it? They are not working on that I'm aware of, but upgrading it makes it better. You have 32 or 64 gigs of RAM in your computer. 32. Yeah. Let me actually look real quick because you got me curious. Pretty sure it's 32. I mean, I'm not a rich man, so I can't afford all the crazy things. Yeah, 32. I got 32 gigs. 32 gigs of DDR5. Now, if you want to buy me two sticks of 16 at 6,000 MHz, DDR5, send it on in. Send it on in. Will help. Mostly it will help with my rendering and stuff for doing my video editing. Fenris, 32 gigs is more than enough for the average person. It's not more than enough for me. Upgrading RAM could help me. I'm just not going to spend the money because I can do just fine now, but it could help me. Is the Nano Prime worth that investment? Meh. There are very few primes at the moment that I say are quote unquote worth the investment. Sure, there are a handful, but generally speaking, a lot of the primes kind of run out of their value. I'll say this, primes have kind of like a sale date by about a year. And then once a year passes, those have probably lost a lot of their initial value. Some of them could end up having the same value or maintaining their value, but generally a prime is going to give you a good advantage for maybe about a year. And then it's meh. And then it becomes meh. So I think a lot of primes are like that. So we have a handful of primes now that I think are very valuable. Hence, we probably need to redo the video I did ranking the primes. But as of now, it's kind of, yeah. Slowers can't access a new board refit from the new event. Any help out there? I don't think there's any help meant, Furry. I'm pretty sure they intended it to have a level cap or a minimum floor, rather. Why? Again, scopely logic. I can't tell you why. But there is a ops requirement for that. Even though a lot of y'all can get the Borg Cube early on, it seems to be directed at 40+ players again. What's the issue with having a player at level 28 having their tier 1 beam? I have no idea. But here we are. I mean, we ask that question of just about everything the overlords do. So, it's kind of a common question around these parts. Is there a Solar Armada crew meta for someone just getting to 35? Mauricio, again, dude, that is entirely depending on what crews you have unlocked. I have no idea. I'm going to assume you don't have most crews unlocked. So it varies level to level, and it varies based on what you have. The dynamics of what you want to look for stay the same. You want to look for critical builds. You want to look for mitigation. But without knowing what crews you have, it's really difficult for me to just sit here and tell you, yeah, run this. Run this. Bryce, I appreciate you. Please don't send me anything because we got to make sure any RAM you want to send is compatible. So I appreciate the offer, but let's double check. It's very, very kind of you, but let's double check. You got to have the RAMs be the same speeds. Definitely want to make sure that you're doing DDR5, not DDR4. All that's very thankful, but let's just shoot me a text. Thank you. I appreciate you, by the way. Is the refit a good investment? I will say this because if y'all have followed my content, y'all know that I don't try to spend y'all's money. It's y'all's money. Spend it however you want to. All I try to do is explain to you how it works. See, that 6,400, mine's only 6,000 price. So, I wouldn't be able to mesh them together. But anyway, let me explain it this way. It's a little misleading how the beam works. I'm talking about the beam refit that you can buy. So let's actually go into the store and look at it real quick. Now, I'm not calling it bad. I'm just saying it doesn't work exactly how you think it probably does. So, used to unlock the binary cutter refit for the Borg Cube, doubles the maximum charge of the Borg Cube's cutting beam, allowing it to hold 2 charges. Now, how I would read this and how many people read this is you get to 100% and then you could shoot it twice. That's not how it works. You can grind this to 200%. But here's the thing. It does not change the 30-second cooldown that ships have when you shoot it. So you can get 2 shots. You have to grind to 200%. So you don't just grind to 100% and have 2. You have to grind to 200%. And then if you hit a ship once, you have to wait 30 seconds to hit it again, or you hit 2 different ships. So that's exactly how it works. I'm not calling it bad. I just want to make sure that y'all understand how it works. It's not a get it to 100%, fire twice, and also fire at the same ship twice. It's get it to 200% and then shoot 2 different ships. So it's a little bit more grind, but you can basically, it allows you to multi-grind. And I guess that has value. At the end of the day, I don't really think it saves any time. At the end of the day, I don't think it saves any time, because you're literally spending the same amount of time to grind it to 200% and you're still doing the same hostiles. I'm not saying it doesn't have value. I'm just saying it doesn't really save you any time. The one area that I would say that it can really help out, though, real quick, wave defense. If you are a high level player watching right now, let's say you're in the 60s and you're using the Borg Cube and wave defense, as many people are, or even a player in the high 50s, being able to have those 2 shots during wave defense can actually be pretty valuable. During wave defense, PvP, there's value to being able to do 2 different shots of 2 different PvP opponents. There's potential value there, but it's a much more niche value than what I think would have been more valuable, which is a time-saving thing. If it had been a time-saving edition, I think a lot of people would be more tempted to spend $100. But it doesn't really save a lot of time. So all you're going to do is turn your cube pink and then do the same amount of work, but you will have 2 shots saved up. And there can be value in there. I just think it's really niche value. Really niche value. But that doesn't make it bad. And Evan says it saves time when you can charge it to 200% in one hostile. There you go. Yeah, depending on what you're fighting. If, you know, I know a lot of people, for example, when you get your cube up in higher levels, what they do is they'll go to Dominion space and they'll actually just solo one of the armadas with their cube, max out the percentage, and then pow, 2 different hostiles. But again, I'm not telling it's good or bad. I'm just making sure y'all understand how it works, and y'all can go from there. As always, these are the type of things that come out in the game that I don't buy, right? I mean, for me to spend $100 on Star Trek Fleet Command, it has to be something of extreme value. That's not extreme value to me, but it's not something that is bad value either. Now y'all know how it works. Make the decision for yourself. Legend of Jane says, beam refit is not bad. I hit 46 and 48s and warped to another system and one shot 244s. Actually faster, grind according to my science. All right, there you go, Legend of Jane. There you go. Level 28, how do I get my rogue faction rep up? So Mark, number 1, there's a research you want to do in your outlaw tree that helps you get started. And then once you've gotten that research done, you'll go start grinding for eclipse keys in the purple systems. Easiest way to kind of put it. In the rogue systems. You'll start grinding the traders for the eclipse keys, and then you'll do a daily turn in that'll give you rep. But that first one is, I think, Stellar Research. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Stellar Research is the first one that you want to unlock. It gives you a little bit of rep, helps basically open that up, and then you're going to start going through that process. Is the 100% floor worth buying for general faction grinding? So Robert, for general faction rep grinding, the floor favor does absolutely nothing for you. The only hostiles in the game currently that get rid of your criticals, random visit. What's up, D's? How you doing? The only one that currently gets rid of your critical, is the new Xindi hostiles. None of the others currently do it. Now, it has value versus Xindi, and to remind you, because it isn't really worded this way, both the favor and the prime critical floor do, both of them, provide PvP advantages. So you can use them in PvP, where I think a lot of people don't realize that because it doesn't explicitly say it. But you can use it to make sure that in PvP battles, your shots never zero out. Wrong one. You've got the wrong crew on. You need to be over here. So with the Xindi, it can definitely help. If you have that 200%, it can definitely help. If you got 100%, it'll help if you're running Hull Breach with your criticals. But thank you, Hank, for gifting a channel membership. Greatly appreciate the support. I can't do what I do without people like you, so thank you. That's very, very kind of you. If anybody wants to support the channel, remember, I can't talk to Scopely. I can't fight for better rewards. I can't fight for better grinds. I can't entertain y'all without y'all supporting the channel. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if that's all you want to do. Just at least hit the like button and hit subscribe. Or if you want to help out, there's PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. There are the links in the chat. Never required, but heckin' appreciated to help pay for taxes and my wife's surgery. So y'all are incredible. Thank you very much. All right, enough rambling, and we're going to start swapping these out real quick so I can put that grind crew back out there. But before we go out, we actually do need to do some upgrades to officers real quick to finish that ticket. And I also need to go mine some ore somewhere, somehow. There we go. Did take my pylum to tier 9, though, so yay, pylum tier 9. Thank you, Robert. That's very kind of you to say. Currently, I can't get a Xindi 40 kill at level 44, the 14 mil Kelvin. You are not running the right crew then, Weapon. That should be a very easy kill for you. Xindi 40s can be taken down by augers. So what crews are you running? What crews are you running? And you sure you're not just getting RNG'd where you're actually hitting criticals? Because at your level, you probably have like a 22% critical chance. You sure you're just not getting RNG'd? Territory reset is planned for the 23rd, Ardalac, subject to change. The current plan is the 23rd. Current plan is the 23rd. So. Level 39 and raid occasion is tearing up the amalgam worth it? Yes, max amalgam is amazing. If you want to actually help your server during incursions, you're going to need a max amalgam. Also, phone vibrating. Oh, somebody supported the channel. Thank you. Let's see who this is so I can say a thank you to you personally because it really does help me and the kids. Shout out to Rudy. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And Joseph. Wow, holy crap. Joseph, thank you as well very much for both of y'all supporting me and my family. I'll put it up on the bar here in a bit. Does the crit damage floor favor actually do damage at level 1? I mean, how would we word this? The crit floor at level 1 will ensure that you are doing damage, but you will be doing significantly less damage than if you had not hit a critical. The floor only really, you want it at least maxed. At level 1, you still don't want to be running criticals. You don't want to run criticals with that floor until it's at minimum max, or you purchase the critical one, which gives you another 100%. Until that critical floor favor is, beefier, you do not want to be running criticals against Xindi hostiles. So you definitely want to up it up some. Just got Commander Kurt. Just swapped him out with Spock. Now there's a 5-hour timer. Is that how long it would take for Kurt to take effect? No, he'll take effect immediately, Hemi. The timer is simply there to prevent you from hot swapping your fleet commanders all the time. As soon as one is in the seat, their abilities are active. It just means that you can't make another change for 6 hours, which is the length of the timer. I'll go ahead and speed this up real quick because I want to start this Q's trial building upgrade before I forget about it. Because I want to do this before I do my Q's trials. Remember, proto matter bonus. This is huge. I want to make sure you're getting that proto matter bonus. So I want to get that upgraded immediately. I actually speed that up immediately because it increases the amount of proto matter I get from completing a Q's trial. So that's one that I never want to just have sitting and waiting. I want to make sure I'm always getting that one up and going. And we'll go ahead and do that one as well and back to the ground. Worth getting multiple amalgams and retire the horizons. There is value to multiple amalgams. Now, I say that as somebody who has one amalgam, right? If you are a big raider, if you are a king pirate, you will love multiple amalgams. And I just want to say again, thank you so much, Joseph and Rudy, for supporting me and my family very much. Joseph, thank you very, very much. But yeah, smashing. Wow, Admiral Pegasus. Smashing. You British jerk. Call you British because you said smashing. Hank, thank you as well. I'll add all of these to our bar as we get ready to pay for taxes and deal with the wonders of Uncle Sam, as well as the surgery. The surgery is scheduled for April if y'all are curious, so it's a couple months away. Just got that question done. Why does Tucker have Delta Quadrant abilities? Mercy, I mean, that's just how they designed it. Not to be rude, because I'm not meaning to say this rudely, but I don't know why you think I would know the answer to that question. That's just how they designed it, right? I mean, that's just what they chose for abilities. Do I like the abilities? I'll be honest. Y'all might not like this answer, but I do like the abilities. Does it make sense, like from a lore perspective, for Trip Tucker to have that ability? No. Doesn't make any sense for him to have this ability, Hand of the Cookie Jar. But I will say that I like the ability as an ability. It doesn't make much sense, but I do love it as an ability. Miss Lisa, wonderful to see you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I love the ability. I want the ability. Does it make sense from a lore perspective? Absolutely not. So, yeah, I think his officer ability is actually pretty good too. So, with that floor, maybe not as good, but still pretty good. Pretty good. I will agree with everybody in the chat that wants to gripe that Trip Tucker doesn't make sense in a lore perspective, but I don't dislike him either. So I don't dislike him. It's a weird, odd combination. A weird, odd combination. So anyway, next question. What else y'all got? Throw it with me. We're here for it. That's why you asked. Makes no sense. It makes sense from a game perspective, Mercy, because I don't expect a video game to have perfect Star Trek lore. I don't. And what does this game really need? Well, what do players keep asking for? Players keep asking for the game to expedite grinds. They keep asking for the game to expedite grinds. Trip Tucker expedites your grinds. He makes them go by quicker. It's literally giving players what they ask for. And sometimes you can't make that thematically work. This is what it is, right? So it's the trade-off there. Personally, I'm okay with Trip Tucker having a weird, nothing to do in real lore ability because it helps out players. But again, I mean, it's not like Trip Tucker's the only one. There are a lot of officers in this game that do not line up with their abilities. Example, did Neelix do anything to make anything cheaper on the Voyager? No, absolutely not. Nope, absolutely not. But is he like I literally made a t-shirt saying you need more Neelix in Star Trek Fleet Command. Mercy says, make the Xindi grind go faster. You do realize that Enterprise is not 1 month, right? Like we have at least one more month of Enterprise. So maybe there will be an officer that does that. But again, like players asked, like right now, we want improvements. And what did January bring? G4, G5 massive economy improvements, grind improvements through officers and the favors. You didn't get a specialty ship and you didn't get a feature. I mean, you got a grind, but this isn't a feature. When we talk features, we're talking about adding something in the game like new buildings and, assaults and, solar armadas. You didn't get any of that. You just got another grind that did come out way too extensive. Like it was too hard of a grind. They have alleviated that burden a bit. And this entire month is focused on mid-level players. Now, did they roll it out as good as they should have? No. But again, it's literally what everybody's asked for. Did they fix Changing Kira? They did. Changing Kira has been fixed for a while. You can use Changing Kira again if you haven't used her in a while. You can use Changing Kira again. Games, books, and movie lore always changes. It has to fit the platform. I agree, Bryce. I really do. And I'm not trying to take Scopely's side here. I'm just saying that I'm not going to throw away the baby with the bathwater here. And truly, a lot of these additions are good additions in my opinion. So. Yeah, exactly what Jurek said. Neelix was literally the morale officer, but guess what? He gives you burning. So, is what it is. Pierre, thank you so much for CHF. I feel like we talked about that. Isn't that Swiss? Isn't that Swiss? By the way, thank you for supporting me and my kids. I greatly appreciate you. So, that's just one of those things that, like, yeah, Neelix is one of my favorite officers in the game, and at the same time, he makes no sense if you're a fan of Voyager the show. Gotta get this. Sorry, y'all aren't important right now. I love y'all. Y'all aren't important right now. Getting this trader is important. Sorry, love y'all, but ignoring y'all for the time being. Please don't despawn. Please don't despawn. Thank you. Ooh, y'all are not important right now. Getting this trader is the most important thing I've ever done in my life. Most important thing I've ever done in my life. Burnt pork, you're not important because who would burn bacon? How dare they burn bacon? All right, we're good now. We're good now. So, all right. How's everyone liking the Epic Officer SMS? That's a great question, Coalition Gear. What does everybody think about the Officer SMS? It is significantly higher than previous heroics, right? As more milestones. At the same time, if I were to spend 10 million, that is less than I would spend to unlock this officer with an SLB. So the trade-off is there's no leaderboard. So if you're level 55, you don't have to compete with somebody that's 65. If you're level 44, you don't have to compete with somebody that's 49. But the trade-off is the milestones are more expensive and higher. So I'll be honest. There are pros and cons to this. This is not as expensive as I thought it would be. But at the same time, yeah, I think it depends on how you look at it. And there's some good math that we talked about in our Discord with this. We actually brought this up last night on the stream on Twitch as well. Do it by price per shard. Like, I think getting to the 7th milestone is worth it, but the last 2.5 million to get that, maybe not worth it. Kind of up to y'all. You know, price-wise, generally when an officer comes out, they're $400. Well, this is a lot more than $400. But at the same time, you have no competition except yourself. So you could choose to say, just get up to the 5th milestone 3 different times. And that would give you 4, 9, 18, and then what, 33? And then do that 3 different times. You're assuming you got, the battle pass or whatever, you've now unlocked Trip Tucker. And you just went to milestone 5 3 different times. Assuming they do it 3 weekends, as we expect them to do. So I'm very curious to see what people think about it. It'll obviously be part of our survey this month to see what y'all think about it. But yeah, I actually think that it has some value because you got free-to-play Trip Tuckers right here. So you got 5 and then 8. You have 8 free-to-play Trip Tuckers in the Battle Pass. And if you got to milestone 5, which isn't that much in terms of materials, and you did that each time, you would get Trip Tucker. Cost-wise, that's not super high. But at the same time, if you're trying to level him up multiple times, all that other stuff, it could feel pretty pricey. So I'm very open to getting everybody's opinion, good or bad, on this one. Robert says, I'm thinking of leveling up to 50 and buying the efficiency primes to match level 50. Do you think this is a reasonable approach? Have those 2 primes level locked right now? So the first thing I would say, Robert, is the 3 primes that have the most valuable or most value in the game right now are prime efficient ship engineering, prime efficient ship parts, and then the prime for G3 through G5 cost efficiency. Those are the 3 best primes to purchase right now, in my opinion. 2 of those primes cost $600 each. One of those primes is basically just a single buy. Those are the most valuable primes. And I would say that if you have not gotten those done yet, that's where I would direct your money. Now, Orca, I'm not trying to ignore the G4 and G5 Armada chest prime. I just don't think it's as valuable as the 3 that I said. Those are the 3 most valuable in the game to me. So I would encourage you to work on those before working on any of the others, but there are some other valuable ones as well, right? The biggest thing I like about the ones that I listed is, remember how early in the stream we talked about basically every prime having an expiration date? Those will have a much longer expiration date than some of the others. But the Armada Prime is also a good one. I think it's definitely in the top 5. I'm not going to say. But anyway, I just wanted to point out my top 3. Am I taking that out of the top 5? Absolutely not. I mean, and one great thing about going into G5 is the 5-star Armada chest actually feel good, where you just spent a lot of time in G4 where they don't feel that good. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely got some good thinking there. And we can sit down and look at your account if you would like and go through some of those and talk about it. You don't have enough things of mats. You don't have enough things to spend mats on to reach milestone 5. So this is an issue that a lot of players run into, especially if you're doing the camping strategy, which is a lot of min-maxing. You could build ships, you know, like 26s, 28s. I'll be using 3-star materials. Generally, everybody has some research to do, or you could level up, right? For me, my ships are kind of done. Like, with the exception of the Monavine, which I have got like 1 part left before I go to tier 6. I didn't mean to spend Latinum, but oh well. Trying to show y'all things. I got 1 part left before I go to tier 6. I'll probably get this over a course of maybe 2 days. I don't really have any ships to upgrade anymore. I'm not taking my Pylon past tier 9. I'm not taking my Coronar past tier 7. My Voyager's as high as it can go. My Talios is as high as it can go. You know, my Defiance is high as it can go. My Borg Cube is now as high as it can go. So the only thing I have left are my buildings. Now, I do still have several docks and platforms, but in the grand scheme of milestones, this is not enough to finish a Trip Tucker milestone. And I still have a few buildings in here before I get ready to go do this, but obviously I gotta, you know, get all these upgraded first. So I'm working on those slowly. Oh, actually, I need to do this building just because it doesn't cost anything besides regular materials. So let me actually go ahead and do that. Go ahead and get you started. Get you started, because you don't actually cost the uncommon. So let's go ahead and get those helps knocking that timer down. High-end researchers are great for the Tucker SMS. I agree, Slag, for sure. Will the Monavine services stay where they are, or will they rotate to the other 3-star territories? I have no knowledge of the Monavine rotating on 3-star, but the Monavine is getting added to some 2-star territories. I do not know which ones, but I do know that the Monavine is getting added to 2-star territories. So, JM Cosmo, not sure what you're asking. Are you asking if I know how it works? Yes, we actually explained it earlier on the stream. We can give you a brief overview if that's what you're needing. If that's what you're needing. Can you please tell me where I can find the mission? We are people 2 for unlocking the export faction store. I can see if it's in STFC.space real quick, because I'll be honest, don't have that memorized. Also, random question, because we have 400 people here. Does anybody here happen to be like a legitimate book editor? Random question. Very random question, I know. Very random question. All right, let me see if I can find this mission for you, unless somebody in the chat has found it. And you're looking for what? We are people too? Well, that's not in there. It's not in FTFC.space, so remind me after stream. I'll look it in. I'll look it up for you. You stayed at a Holiday Inn once, you're qualified. 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 You know when the next treasury will be? Usually the treasury is on the 15th-ish, so expect the treasury this week. That's usually when the treasury launches, right around there. Card game is, I've got about 20 arts left that I got to get paid for and finished, and then the Elven faction art will be done. Once the artwork is done, we'll go through Elven mechanic testing, and then that will be the first edition of the card game. I've already got the orcs, humans. As soon as we get the elves finished, have to get it done by March, because they want me to show off the game at a small con in Atlanta. Anybody that wants to come to that con is more than welcome. Obviously, I will talk Star Trek Fleet Command and all the other things there as well. But yeah, that's also something I'm pressing to get done really quickly, Lawrence. These past, the holidays really slowed down my card game progress. But yeah, working on that. The book actually it goes along with the card game, actually, believe it or not. Any word if the prime particle that we get every day will be any use again? No. I'm not aware of any other primes getting that particle, but I can certainly ask. I can certainly ask. All right, I need to swap this out for an ore miner because we need to go mine some ore. I don't know if Epic is still watching. Epic, all I ask is literally let me mine 500 ore. That's literally all I'm asking so I get this mission done. Thank you, Epic. Appreciate you. If you're lurking in the background ready to stream snipe, just let me get 500 ore. Just do this mission. All right. It's in the holodeck. Oh, it makes sense for it to be in the holodeck. I just didn't know if it had a start point. But you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I have a random question for you all. Anybody know what the score level for reaching tier 2 of the sync of the SMS is for an Ops 39? I don't know that one. Sorry. Are you fighting Epic again? Oh, the war only pauses, Charles. The war only pauses for like incursions. And shout out to Epic, by the way, because IA and Epic, I would say, for all the beef that we had, worked well together in the last incursions, and we won against server 41. So shout out to Epic for that. Now we're back to smashing each other's brains in. You know, for example, what was it? Yeah, Henchman hit me last night and stole 2 million inert nanopros. And shout out to him for doing it. Shout out to him for doing it. There you go. There you go. Love it. Hopefully talking to you now, or are you still too threatening? The person that I threatened is not talking to me, but other people are. So that's the thing. Good memory there, John. Good memory. Does the double charge require 2 times the kill? Yes, John, Cosmo. So the double charge is not 100%, is 2 shots. It lets you charge up to 200%. You do have to grind to 200%. And it also does not affect the cooldown timers of the targets you're hitting. So if you're hitting a target that has, you know, you're trying to kill that target, you will have to then hit it again after 30 seconds. It does not affect the timer. So now you know if you didn't know. Now you know. Loving the show, my guy. Keep up the good work. You've helped me a lot. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you, Dreek. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for everybody who enjoys the channel, comes in, has a great time, asks questions, loves Star Trek. All appreciate it. All of y'all are appreciated. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, and another thank you. So, y'all are all freaking awesome. Also, again, a thank you to Hank, a thank you to Rudy, and a thank you to Joseph, who helped with the upcoming surgery cost, as well as paying taxes. I greatly appreciate y'all. Thank you. Did you watch the new season of Prodigy on Netflix? Season 2 isn't on Netflix, is it? Just season 1, right? We appreciate you a lot. Well, thank you, Roger. It's very kind of you. Theep! I'm mad at you. Theep, I am angry at you. I am just outraged. You've not responded to messages I sent you. How are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Theep. Yeah, I sent you messages. You never responded. You ignored me. Don't love me anymore. But it's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Do you have a video out explaining what a player needs to be ready for moving Ops 50? I actually do, Blue Dog. I actually have 2 videos. Number 1 is the video that we made about the Ops progression spreadsheet, which kind of covers everything as a whole. And I do have a video that's about a year ago, so some things have changed slightly, about, you know, what to complete at 49 before moving on up. And Theep, I'd hit you up on Telegram. So if you want to check it, basically sent you some, you know, pictures of the family, talked about a few different things. So if you get some time, that's where I sent it, was on our Telegram chat. But yeah, Blue Dog, I do have a video on 49 and camping there, and if you are camping there, what you want to try to work towards so that you can get everything done at, you know, I was goaling there for about 51, 52. And then we also have our ops progression sheet that we're constantly working on. Updated Lube has actually jumped in and started working on it as well. And yeah, we've got a couple of things there to help you out. Which/how many 4-star faction ships do you need? I've got my Valdor and Jelly grinding my Voyager level 42 ops. So Greg, this really comes down to you as a player, what you enjoy and what you prefer. Personally, I like having 2 at each opportunity, with the exception of the 50s just because of cost. The legitimate reason is I have personally found a slower gameplay and a more horizontal gameplay is better gameplay. That's for me. I'm not much of a spender though. So when I got a Coronar and a Pylum, I had to invest into both of them. So it slowed down my ability to progress ops. But here's the thing. That slowdown means that I'm not in the 50s yet on this account. So now that the 6-star has rolled out, it kept me from running into the paywall. And that doesn't mean that, like, oh, my Pylum's so great I can actually go take on Theep, who's level 66. But it did make it to where my playstyle is more enjoyable for me. I have a Katinga and a Valdor. I have a Pylum and a Coronar, and I love having both. I also ground out the USS Kelvin. I didn't upgrade it, but I grounded it out for free by hitting hostiles. I think there's value to having multiple for that reason alone. But again, it comes down to what your goals are, because my goal was never to max them out either. Like, I didn't want to take a Pylum to tier 12. I have no desire to do that to myself. I'm not taking a Pylum to tier 12. But at the same time, is there value to some of these strategies where you play a, longer play style, but have more to do? I think there is. But maybe you don't want to have more to do. Maybe more to do is actually the thing that annoys you the most. So it just depends on what your style of play is. For me, I really enjoy a slightly slower play style, but acquiring more things. And that's what gives me a lot of fun, because this account is a light spender account. We're talking about Battle Pass and maybe $100 worth of like pack a month. And that's it. It's a light spender account. So with that slowdown, it's allowed me to focus on things that I really enjoy and set my own goals. So, any talks on adjusting the PvP range? Nope. Zero talks. Where are the Xindi crewing tables per ship type versus loot you showed off in your Xindi video? I mean, they're in the video. If you have a specific one you want to see from those logs, you can tag myself or maybe one of the volunteers in my Discord, and they'd be more than happy to help you out with that. Just like, so any of the orange names, John Connor, I know specifically had a lot of those kind of like quick saved, and they'll send you those logs if you want to check them out. Jockey says Pylum tier 9, Talios and Voyager has carried me through Oz 53. I mean, they can. I mean, one thing about the specialty ships that I will give them credit for the 50s, and again, I am not making an argument for more specialty ships, but I will say this. One thing I love is that most of the specialty ships have utility beyond their loops. Like, you can use the Talios in PvP, is pretty decent. You can use the Voyager for great warp range to complete missions, and even gets a little bit of beef to it. Now, the Borg Cube feels basically useless in 3-star and 4-star besides its mechanic, but getting into the late 5-star and 6-star range, it becomes pretty beefy. So they've made the special ships have more than niche uses, and I do appreciate that. Even the Monavine, my Monavine is going to be my strongest of my special ships by pure power by the time I get it to the maximum level for level 49. It's already at almost tier 6. It's stronger by power, and I go power isn't really the tell-all for everything, but by power, it's stronger than the Borg Cube is. So, and cheaper. You have a guide on which ships to never max out? I don't. But really, the only ships to never max out at this point are faction ships, unless you're a spender. If you're a spender, you can afford to max out faction ships. But really, all the specialty ships really need to be maxed out. You can argue exceptions to that. Like, a lot of people don't focus on the Franklin A anymore. Heck, I don't focus on the Franklin A. Hey, Snoop, what you doing, buddy? What you doing there, buddy? Hey, Snoopaloop. I'm going to go meet Snoopaloop and see what's happening. I got to go meet Snoopaloop, see what's going on. Snoop, what you doing over here, boy? Oh, he left. What the heck, Snoop? What the heck, Snoop? Don't max sarcophagus. See, fair. Yeah, don't max sarcophagus. So, don't max the Sark. But I mean, generally speaking, every ship max out, right? I think if Scopely gave a chest 200% loot drop, extra comp points every week or two with a limit of 2, so folks don't save them, that would help ease grinds. Looney, you can do that already. Incursions. It's like one of the biggest values to incursions. I tell people that. Incursions is not just about the work. It's about everything that you can do outside of that with like those exocomps. And man, those exocomps are amazing. And they will greatly improve so many of your grinds if you go and use them. How's the SAO? I'm curious who it was and what they're doing in my territory. What you doing in my territory? Let me pop this off a node real quick so I can progress on that mission. And then we'll put it back on there because we still got to finish doing our mining for our ticket event. Did y'all see on the Discord where I showed or I told who the ticket events are going to be for? It's going to be Hugh. One second. I got a kid screaming at my door. One second. Sorry, she had a little boo-boo on her hand. Not like poop, as in like a bobo. Little bobo. Anyway. I don't know why I put that on. I need that. Is the Titan worth it? Yes. The Titan is not the sexiest of the ships. But the Titan does have value, yes. Titan does have value. Let me go ahead and upgrade some of these officers. I've been meaning to do that. Let's go do that. Upgradable. Who are we going to upgrade? Who are you going to upgrade? Oh, Sam. Anyway, good question. Who do I want to upgrade? Because I really don't want to spend faction credits. I hate spending faction credits. Corvus tier 6 to upgrade the cube? Correct. Correct. So if you want to skip having the epics, just need to get that cube up. I guess I need to upgrade Spock. I hate that it takes so many credits, though. But I mean, I'm not really using Federation officers right now. So, well, I'm not using Federation credits because the rep is so low. So let's go ahead and just do this. Now Spock will be strong. Anyway, rare ticket officers are Hugh, Jayla, and Picard Riker. I posted in my Discord yesterday, but it's Hugh, Jayla, I know, and I think Picard Riker or Picard Worf, one of those two. So, all right, there we go. That'll finish my ticket event. Yay, Parstil. Is there a secret to getting more officer badges? I mean, are you using your, like every Sunday, you do Anomalous Phenomenon. At least I hope you're doing Anomalous Phenomenon. I'm not going to require the refit to get 10 shards. You're crazy. But through that, you can get more badges. So we need to do this one and this one. Swap out and go grab. Get a Stella out real quick. Send that out. Send this out to here. We'll get that grinding. So, do you know if they plan to make wave defense for less than 5 people? No. Not that I'm aware of, Zendris. Not that I'm aware of. Negative. But yeah, the rare ticket event, I will double check that, but should be that. Or should be those 3. And I'm just looking at my Discord. Put in my captain's quarters, maybe. Yeah, Picard, Worf, Jayla, and Hugh. Picard, Worf, Jayla, and Hugh. But the badges, you go to your factions. If you've been doing your discovery grind, you're going to have a bunch of these minor commendations saved up. And if you need more command badges, which is the one that people need the most of, turn it in. Command badges right there. Minor commendations. I'll take down the dono bar real quick. You're doing your discovery runs. You're going to get all these minor commendations. You turn in the minor commendations inside your faction stores for the badges that you need. And then obviously you get some in the battle pass every month as well. Oh, weekly Apex. Good shout out, Scott. Weekly Apex also. Another opportunity. Another opportunity. I need to go do more wave defenses. Yay. More wave defenses. You giving out Hugh like candy now that he isn't as good? See, that's a bad statement, Bert, because he is as good. Just because he doesn't work against Xindi out of the box does not mean he's not good. Hugh is still the best hostile officer in the game. One grind coming out where you now have to get the favors upgraded doesn't mean Hugh's not good. Hugh is still fantastic and amazing. Hugh's still fantastic and amazing. So, he's still game changing. Like all your normal stuff, your freebooter runs, your faction grinds, all of it, he's incredible. And all you got to do to get him to work on the Xindi grind is get your favors done. Once you've done your favors, he works just fine. He works just fine. You just got to get all your favors done. So, and in 5 hours, I can do another pull. And I am halfway to my second pull now with the changed amounts. So, go over here. And I'm going to, again, we're just grinding, getting all these tickets done. And service commendation Wait, what is that? Hold on 1 second. Gotta check an event. I didn't realize that was a thing. What is service commendation? What is that? Where's that at? Oh, the rare. Oh, this thing. Thank you. I was like, what is that? Thank you. That's the rare ticket event for this upcoming Monday. 4-star refinery. Mark, you can start doing commons at level 39 and you get rare mats at 41. So 39, then 41, then 45 for rares. All right. What else y'all got comment-wise, y'all? We've got a few minutes left before we get towards our wrap-up time. We're not there quite yet, but I will also go ahead and let y'all know that not for 100%, but a maybe going to do a bonus Twitch stream tonight. Kind of like how DJ did one last night with his kids. Might do a bonus one to play Baldur's Gate if y'all are interested. Y'all don't have to, but I mean, if y'all want to come have fun and get away from Star Trek, Fleet Command for a little bit. Planning on maybe doing that. I'm going to work on my book after this stream. I've also got to get ready for content this week. And I was also working with the VIP CMs this morning because busy. But I might do a bonus one because I'm really enjoying Baldur's Gate 3. Really been enjoying it. Complete random question. How do I change these stellar particles in the factory store to pay out G4, not G3? Faction, Rogue, and you got to get the skins and stuff. Gotta get the skins and stuff. Gamer, I'm working on my book, like my own book. You gotta get the skins for the Stella. And as you can see, Rev ain't got them. Rev ain't got them. Let me go into the refits and show you what I'm talking about. Go to unlock more. You're going to scroll down until you find not that one. Why'd you click it? Stupid computer. Right. Where's it at? Where is that? Right here. Assimilated Stella skin. Extend Stella particles to crystal, gas, and ore at outlaw rank to 4 and 5. I have not unlocked it yet. Have not unlocked it. But you need to get the assimilated Stella skin. And that will allow you to start getting 4-star and 5-star materials, depending on your level. Yeah, it is free to play sourceable if you do your stuff every Thursday. And that event store basically stays up. Get more shape alloys. Yay. Come on. Click, click, click. Oh, gosh. I'm winning so many things. I feel like a winner. All right, let's go back into our event store. So here's our Apex Outlaw. Oh, yeah, it's Sunday. Cool. Thank you. Anyway, come down here. You have all these things. Then you also have right here, Stella Skin. So I can pull, I think 30 of them right now. And since I don't have it, I'll go ahead and do it. As you can tell, I rarely mess with this. Not that it's bad. It's just there's so many loops. It's just one of those things that kind of gets like halfway ignored. But if you do your thing every Thursday, you can free to play source that skin. You can free to play source it. So my Cardassian beam weapon is my problem with Xindi. 25% added crits. I've got the Cardassian beam, I'm pretty sure. Don't I have the Cardassian beam? I could have sworn I have the Cardassian beam. Projectiles. Bam. Because that does critical hit damage, not chance. This is a 25% boost to damage weapon, not chance. Yeah. You're 3 away from getting the assimilated skin, 3 BPs away. Nice, Mercy. I actually don't know where I'm at. I think that was the first time I've actually pulled that skin. So, video regarding warp token space, various tokens, purposes, and locations. I don't have a video specifically about that. No, you boya. Maybe something that we can make content-wise. you know, where all the tokens go, how to get the tokens. But no, I have never actually made a video specifically for that. What level do you need to be for that skin? Great question. Well, is there a level lock on the assimilated skin's got to be at least probably 40 plus. It's got to be at least probably 40 plus because the it does 4-star and 5 stars on economy, so it's got to be at least 40 plus. Any event for the holiday? What holiday, dude? It's January 14th. What holiday? Max Stella. Oh, so you can actually see it at 34 through 36. That's great. Okay, so if you only need a Max Stella, there you go. There you go. MLK? I don't think they're going to do anything for MLK Day. Now there's a critical floor. Do you recommend not getting the critical chance Bajoran favor? Haven't. I'll be honest, man. The base defense is basically dead. Base defense is basically dead for now until something comes out that makes it not dead. So I would still keep with the same thing and just pray that people haven't done a lot of the purchasing. That would still be effective. The biggest thing that has killed base defense, though, isn't the critical floor. That really hasn't hurt it at all. What has killed base defense is the prime station delay. Prime station delay. That's what's killed base defense. So, I mean, the floor, I don't really feel like affects it. Sure, they'd still do damage, but even then, they're not going to do much damage. They're just going to do standard damage. It's the prime station delay that has ruined base defense. And if somebody bought that, you're just screwed. Let me go ahead and I'm curious where I'm at shard wise. I think that was the first set that first set of pulls for that I've actually made. Let's check projectiles. So wait, I'm sorry, ship skins. Scroll. Simulated Stella. Yeah, see, I'm 1/4 of the way. That was my first time doing those pulls. We need a prime station delay. Yeah, we need primes to negate the primes that we released that are prime. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. 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 Y'all nailed it. And if y'all haven't already, we'll drop the Discord links. Y'all can join the Discord. More questions can get answered there. I love answering y'all's DMs. I spent time doing it this morning. I got more to answer. I've got, just since we started talking, another about a dozen messages sent my way. So we'll see. Voyager mining is broken for sub 40 players for months now. On your server, maybe? I know I have one server that's constantly hitting me up saying that they can't do it on their server, but I know it's not like that on my server. But there is one server, I can't remember which it is, but I know I've passed it up, but it can always bug again, where they can't mine. There's nothing there. There's nothing showing up in the systems. So obviously it's problematic. All right, we're going to, you know what? I actually need to sit here and upgrade. I need to get another one of these leveled up. I really do. I need to get another one of these, because this Meridian has got so little protected cargo. I need to get another Meridian leveled up. I've got one Meridian maxed. I really need to get around to maxing the second one. Let's go over here, throw that in, and then we're going to have to recall this because I'm going to be maxed on my currency here in a second. I'm running a loot crew. What other questions do y'all have, everybody? What other questions do y'all have about the game, about life, about anything? We're here to try to help as much as we can. And I'm happy to bug the overlords. You know, assuming something needs to be bugged, but we'll do the bugging. So hold on, I gotta ban somebody dropping links they shouldn't be dropping in my Discord. Oh, that's annoying. Ban. Spam. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Any possible dates for territories and wave season passes? The territory shakeup is supposed to be January 23rd. I can't tell y'all when wave defense is except for soon. except for soon. Can't tell y'all any more than that based on the orders of lay overlords. Based on orders of lay overlords. But soon. Was the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow European or African swallow? European or African? Bet it's next Tuesday. Everything's coming next Tuesday. Let me guess. Tuesday. Yeah. There you go. If y'all don't know what that is in reference to, find another game. If y'all know what that's in reference to, find another game. I still can't use the highest DQ system I can reach due to it being bugged. I think about rushing 37 just to reach higher. Makes sense. 20 to 100,000 is too much on Xindi loot boxes. What do you mean, Jockey? They just reduced the cost on the Xindi loot boxes. I would have been rushing 40 jump, all for a big mess I probably wouldn't have been able to do much with. Fair. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rush to the 40s for this content. I don't think the content's bad, but I wouldn't rush for it. I wouldn't rush for it at all. I still think it's good, but there's a reason that we have had a growing pain kind of. I want to say kind of. We've definitely had some growing pains that we've had to work through for those of us who have had it here in the beginning. And yeah. Thing. Jockey, the second box is supposed to come at a grind. The idea behind the cost reduction is they reduced it to make the first box pretty damn achievable for everybody in one hole. But the second box is supposed to be a heavy grind. So mine is 3,000 and then 15,000. And thank you, Booper. Yeah, everybody wants to help out the channel. Give the stream a like. I understand that not everybody can donate. I get that. But everybody can like the videos and comment. So, what do you think about these heroic recruit SMSs? I have no issue with it, Dave, to be honest with you. I thought I would hate it, but I really don't have an issue with it. I really don't. It's just a heroic. And the trade-off is you don't have to deal with anybody but yourself. So I'm curious to see what people think about the end of the month. We'll do the survey out and we'll let the people decide if on the survey it was a good thing or a bad thing. But this is definitely going to be a month where y'all need to get everybody to voice their opinion. If y'all hate it, make it known. If y'all like it, make it known. We'll see. Personally, I like the officers not having to go through the LB and me fight people that I have no chance of beating on the LB. I actually like that. Oh, Xindi escalation, rank 3. Yes, please. Yes, please. There we go. All right, got that 3 out of 5. 75% bonus on loot. Love it. Love it. Oh, it's going to make things so much easier as I go and grind these out. I'm going to just keep working on leveling those up. All right. Speed this up, and we're going to send it right on back over here. Welcome in, Grim. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Do regular mining ships mine relatively quickly in Delta Quadrant mining space? No, not at all, Mercy. No. You only want to use the Voyager for mining in those systems. Only want to use the Voyager for mining in those systems. Yeah, Lee. I'm going to do critical floor, but Xindi escalation is going to be first for me. More loot drop is more important than me running critical builds with Hugh and DLT. So that's more important for me. Everybody else can make the kind of decision for themselves on like what has the most value. That's what's most important for me. All right, I got my PvP out. I really don't need it, but hey, PvP. All right, so let's do. Why are you here? Not bad. Nobody can proc morale though. Anyway, I was just thinking that it needed to have a little bit more beef. So Krell up there. I know they changed the chest pull rate, but did they reduce any loot drop? Nope. They did not touch the loot drop at all. They did not mess with. Actually, the entire point of changing just the chest drop is it's too much work to actually adjust every hostile and go through all that. They would not have been able to do a quick change. So no, they did not adjust at all the ships and what they drop. Only change the chest and what it costs to redeem. Instead of going through all the different hostiles. So, what's possible that's happened, Kia Pilot, is you just had some bad RNG where you're hitting criticals because your ships probably have a native, 22% critical chance. And that's probably what's getting you. That's probably what's getting you. All right. Charvin, Lorca, and Data E got me 1 kill and Xindi 40 space. Nice. Congrats. Nice weapon. Very nice. All right. We are right at our time. So let's see a question come through here in the next few seconds as I work on this grind. We're going to wrap up. And yeah, I got a few things to do. If y'all are, I'm just going to sit this out there because we've been doing it a lot lately. If you're a high level player interested in the VIP area, you feel like you should be in there and you're not in there, feel free to shoot me a message and I can try to connect you with them. Like if you're supposed to be in there, just let a guy know and I can try to help you out. So, grab you out. Just frustrating yesterday when I'm finally able to take advantage of the lower chest pull and I was getting a lot less per run. Sounds like it's just some bad RNG, but yeah, they did not adjust the rates. So, export loot from event has allowed me to do new export research even through low 30s. That's great, Roy. Love that for you. We definitely like positive progression. Good for players. You wish you could be in the VIP if you had more income? Yeah, I definitely don't qualify for VIP. Like, there's no way for me to spend that amount of money. That's okay. That's okay. I have other things to spend money on. So, multiphasic hunter. Anybody doing that? Anybody? There's your spend event. Get you some hammer shards. It's a weird officer to put there because not hard to get, honestly. Not hard to get. How can I kill the 40 plus ships when I can't get that level 3 cutting ability? I don't know what you're talking about, Mercy. What do you mean level 3 cutting ability? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, y'all, we're right at an hour and a half. Let me go ahead and wrap up. If y'all need me, hit me up on Facebook or Discord. Either one works. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with their Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Hit the like button on your way out. We've had at least 700-800 people be here throughout the day. Only 99 likes. Hit the like button. Helps the channel. Helps us grow. You're appreciated. You're all amazing. Can't wait to see you. Hit me up anytime. And deuces, that's me. I'm out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.